is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. Yeah, thanks, Francisco. Hello everyone, my name is Aussie Hornet. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. We're going to be continuing with Bridge to the Turnabout. And yeah, let's begin. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you any way I can. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Asakura Temple. Very well. The second thing then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 PM that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? I really went key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay. Iris. I can't tell you about that yet. Not until her safety is confirmed. Oh. The safety of the Acolyte. The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Denham? No matter who or what may come, I can never take a life. As I thought. No psycho locks. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intensely. Did I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell her. Someone should tell her. You really understand that his thing was to capture you? Oh! Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Ouch! Lois Denham, hope you're ready. Get in here. It seems that whip is gonna see plenty more use today. Alright, Larry. Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey! I was just artistically rendering. Ow! You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Well, look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color, viridian. Larry, this isn't an art store now, is it? I know, I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume you wanted to say field work, I heard. That's it. Thanks, buddy. It's kind of sad that I was able to understand this mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red. Or to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ouch! Oh my god! Oh! Stop your pathetic blabbing and testify like a man. If anyone whipping me, Miss Von Karma, cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now! This is too much for me. Wow, we are bullying Larry here. What I saw. Alright. I was at that lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I went to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Oh, not yet, gee. Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody, nothing but a small worthless man, aren't I? Why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself. Oh my god. Just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, that's right, I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Trust me, Larry, you make me unhappy already. Let us proceed with the cross-examination with no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. Alright. Here we go.
Hold it!
What is the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? This one single statement is so full of contradictions. For a moment there, I thought I was going to collapse. So, witness, any idea as to where these contradictions in your testimony lie? Depending on your answer, I may stay my whip. Okay, give me a minute. Well, it was snowing that night, so I couldn't possibly have seen the stars. That rundown shack is hardly a lodge, is it? And even if the stars could be seen, it isn't like I was there to look at them, right? See? You can do it if you try. There's only one issue here. What you saw at Dusky Bridge. I went to the bridge a number of times, but...
Hold it!
A number of times? How many? Maybe 5 times. I went once every 20 minutes. Which means you spent almost 2 hours at Heavenly Hall that night. You bet. Real love is about waiting with your heart in your hands. Oh, you say? It was this man's intention to summon the defendant to the small shack. Using this blackmail letter. Blackmail? No! That was simply a product of overflowing love. You huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse of a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness. So, what did you see? I hope for your sake you saw a snowmobile. You huffy-puffy, loosey-goosey excuse for a whimpering, whining wuss of a witness, eh? Well, you see... All those names doesn't seem to bother him at all. This is a snowmobile.
Hold it!
Larry, you really didn't see it? Hey, no need to hit your desk, I can hear you. I didn't see it. It's a snowmobile. Larry, say snowmobile for me, please. Snowmobile? You truly have nothing to hide. Then why are you stammering like you just flew over a cuckoo's nest? Just shut up! What is this? I don't know, don't ask me. Seems that I'll need to start from a more obvious contradiction. I want to strike the blow that will finally get him to spill the beans. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. He clearly saw Phoenix that night.
Objection!
Larry Butts, I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Edgy, are you trying to console me? No. It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. It's only bitterness on me. Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. That's right, me, in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. Doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. Wow, they're just bullying Larry here. That reality will not change. But, what do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self, but for now, what you saw that night, testify truthfully about this one issue. It's all I need from you. Edgy, hey, I think I've finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. Well, us again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? I was in shack at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding, when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window. The dusky bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. Totally burned out. Like, almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry, it's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know what that meant, if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Oh, Sergeant Wolf, please commence your cross-examination.
Hold it!
What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half? Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess. Excited? Dare I even ask? I set the meeting time at 10 p.m., right? Well, I couldn't wait. And I thought she might come early, too. Well, it appears she didn't come at all, in the end. Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart! Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went to the bridge. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her.
Hold it!
This light was, of course, lightning! Like, kapow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly. A big bada boom. Or a little like that. That's more like a punch from Miranda. Goodness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge? Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of lights, so... I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire.
Hold it!
Saying that, what did you do? What do you think? I was burning up as well, from the fire in my heart. And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge? Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first I thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it pretty much stopped snowing, so I don't know, I changed my mind. Not sure I cared for the forget it attitude you had at first, witness. There was still some fun though, but I went right away to check it out.
Hold it!
You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe around 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is this small shack you're in from the bridge? Hold on, well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk? And how did Dusky Bridge look when he got there? I think I've recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfire kids make during school camping trips can compare. Well, shall I press him for a little more info? Alright, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There is a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Yeah, okay. My reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? I went to the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later.
Objection!
The very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the hey, Hedgie? You make me sound like some sort of alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there at around 11 p.m. It all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 PM is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Ah! Excuse me. I have an objection. You do? Reggie, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm Laurie's dad. It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 PM. The sister only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca Von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. Well, there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 PM. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 PM. Which means, what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 PM, but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you just stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth now then. What happened during these missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback. I guess I was still sleeping after all. Hold on. So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes and there is a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident? Yes, witness, why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. But that's what it sounds like. Ah, but this is Larry we are talking about, and even he isn't capable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction. Edgy? I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. So I thought, you've been playing with us all this time. Listen, I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say it this time. Everything. Yeah! Then say it! Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this, however. Let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? I'm a denim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the flame had gone out and then he came running up. I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right! I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch. Including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. What would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. You'll regret this, Edgy.
Hold it!
Tell us, Larry. My name is Maurice, get it right! Shut up. Mistakes like that are what keeps you from being popular with the ladies like I am. Who exactly are you? I'm Maurice Denham, a princess extraordinaire. That's what he calls himself in any case. And you are an artist? Of course, I'm an artist, the real thing. Yet again, that's what he calls himself. Names mean nothing. There's only one issue I care to discuss. What were you doing? That's a very big issue indeed. Sketching in front of the bridge, I was whipped up into a frenzy of art.
Hold it!
Just sketching? The burning bridge? The burning bridge and everything that came with it. What came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Reggie? You'll regret this. The sketch of mine is... Enough! Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. Whoa, what are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. Larry, come on now. And those indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm sure I do. I've got a terrible feeling that the instant the sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. Okay, sir, if he painted the sketch of what happened in the bridge, we might have an indication of what actually happened. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please. Well, even I couldn't have imagined it turn out like this. Imagine what? Well, Reese Denham's debut would take place here today, like this. Show it now! Okay, let's steel yourselves. This is the world of Maurice Denham. What? Well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct? And quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma? Yes, well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames, I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. Ugh, this is gonna get ugly. One has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry? What? The burning bridge is fine, but what is that unfortunate looking figure? Ah, you spotted that? I thought you might. However much I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course! Iris! I wish she'd take better care of herself. We had to plan for her future, you know. What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? Alright, please, answer this next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist. Oh! You! High? Well, he's high on something. The girl, she's really high up in this picture. What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Please put your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your overall theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there's some precedent for this. Just flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. It was about 30 feet above the bridge at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Takes it into foolishness, Miles Edgeworth. Why is this my responsibility? Let's go back to a cross-examination by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Now, what did you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me! Horrible sketch of what he saw the night of the crime. Hurry up and cross-examine him. Jeez. The white hood fluttering. Okay, yeah, that's a lie.
Objection!
Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1, that is the truth. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. Who might that be? That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant Iris. Oh, what? What do you mean? I don't understand. A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolish foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course he was! That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. Yeah, thanks, Francisco. It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the ones at the defense's bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing a hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change the story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight? What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood? What? Angie, what is going on with Iris and Nick? Why you, Nick, you dog? Oh god. This is not important, Larry. I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded straight into the garbage. Oh, Larry. Ugh. What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today's the day I get to completely stupefy you. What? What's the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Definitive? Evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge. And I, Maurice Denham, shall prove it. I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in the sketch. And show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy. Because I'm going to feed you a whooping serve of pain. You've been serving us a whooping serve of pain this whole time, trust me. Yeah. Larry is such a pain. I reached the sea bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. Crystal sphere? This one! Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That sphere. Where did you find it? Let me see. Around here somewhere. Looks about right. It was half buried in the snow. It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. The girl accepts this crystal spear. It's mine, okay? I want it back afterwards. There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood. What? Blood? You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's going to push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Maurice Denham only a few minutes ago? I've had it with Larry's bullshit.
Hold it!
So, you went to the burning bridge? That's right, to meet Iris. She actually flew to get to me. The least I could do was meet her halfway. The defendant was not at the bridge when he got there, you say. I guess she went back to the Hazakura temple. She's a girl after all. She must have wanted to look her best. It must be lovely to live in the fantasy land of Larry's mind. Actually, it's so depressing that I can't even work up the energy to point. So what did you do next? I'm so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her.
Hold it!
So you searched all over for her? She was flying pretty high, you know. Thought maybe she slipped on her landing and got hurt. Hey, it was more than possible. Also, when I headed out to the shack the first time, I was snacking on a banana. I'm pretty sure I threw the peel away somewhere around there, so you know. Can one guy really be this stupid? It's possible. So did you find any signs of her so-called landing? I don't really remember. I kept on falling over myself and kinda lost it for a while there. You fell over yourself? Yeah, the snow was deep and there was even a banana peel out there. Yup, they're stupid. And then there's Larry Butts. Short of it is that you didn't find any signs of her landing, correct? And what happened next? That led to me finding a beautiful crystal spear half buried in the snow.
Hold it!
Half buried? It was sitting in the snow with a little gathered on the top of it. It was very hard to spot, actually. I mean, it was dark out, too. I'm impressed. You did well to find it. I don't know what you may think when you look at me. I'm a pro, a genius security guard. I used a pen light I borrowed from my company to help in my search. It sparkled really brightly, as if it was saying, "Here I am" to me. It does indeed look very much like the crystal spear on Iris's hood. But need I remind you that she was not wearing a hood that night? I'm sure that Iris is simply wearing a spare hood.
Hold it!
Each nun is assigned their own hood, and they are assigned only one. I don't know anything about that, okay? And Iris is special, alright, dude? Even if she did steal a spare hood, I'll forgive her. This is getting us nowhere. Our destination for the day, it seems. However, this crystal spear was found near this bridge. That is a fact. If it didn't come from a hood, where could it have come from? That is the question I aim to answer. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal spear that night.
Objection!
There we go. Larry, that night, there was someone. Someone who lost a crystal spear. There was? Who? Who was the stupid idiot? Miss Elise Denham, the mentor to a stupid idiot. The victim? I have a photo of her here. On the other of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal spear. Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back! This is the victim's stuff found at the scene of the crime. Oh! The crystal spear! It's gone! What? What? Just what does this mean? Anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night? It certainly was not Iris, after all. She was not wearing a hood. More importantly, the crystal spear found at the landing site was not hers either. And that means the one who flew and dropped the spear was the victim, Miss Elise Denham.
Objection!
A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that, I saw it with my own two eyes! And this crystal spear, this is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thoughts, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edwards. Elise Denham was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this spear cannot be related to this case. That is all.
Objection!
Miss Francisco von Karma, the only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal spear was found near the bridge on the night of the murder. Yet you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case?
Objection!
The crystal spear. It was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There's blood on the crystal spear, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent. The exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? No! All joking aside, just when did this crystal spear appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. Makes a valid point. There's no evidence that Elise Denham left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal spear can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal spear. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Not prove it? Prove that the crystal spear was dropped before the murder took place? I mean, there's blood on it, so I think I can? prove it. That's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I'll prove that this crystal spear is a vital link to solving this case. You'll do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise. Because right now, I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that the crystal spear was indeed dropped before the murder.
Take that!
This crystal spear, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal spear was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Oh. Therefore, the crystal spear must have been dropped before the murder. What? Here we go. Order. On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal spear to come loose. What? What could it have been? The spear. There is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
Objection!
The murder did take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool, and which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The censor saw everything. He saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard.
Objection!
That's not exactly true now, is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. But that's the same thing! No, it's not! No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding.
Objection!
You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Lee Stanton's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? I'm mad at this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is also perfectly plausible. No, the defense is ready. The court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple. Snow reveal.
Take that!
On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could have also been used to carry a body. Order. Yeah! This is completely unacceptable, man, Edgeworth. You dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. He's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. But what? Where was the victim, Lee Stanton, really killed? If the body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do we even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
Objection!
This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. Ouch! However, he would never utter a lie that could have hurt a girl with whom he is enamored, sorry. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point. Edgy, thank you. You're not welcome. That's also done. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Oh, she's pissed. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. As this your Von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There's one reason and one alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Francie whipping me off. Ouch! Niall said to her, I don't care about what you're here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. Shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. For shame, Francie! This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You're an affront to all the legal system temple. Oh God! I demand satisfaction. Oh, he's dead. R.I.P. Larry. I cannot believe that the witness testimony relates to the actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the question it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, right? Court is now adjourned. R.I.P. Larry. Well, anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. R.I.P. Larry. But we're going to be continuing this very soon. But in the meantime, if you guys like this video, please sure to give it a like and subscribe. And hit that notification bell to see more videos like this in the future. Until then, take care and goodbye.